while since I've done any videos. I have been really busy, and I will be doing a video here shortly of a fire thing that I'm kind of building. It's called an elevated kitchen. I got the idea from the book Bushcraft by Morris Gahansky. I thought I'd already be done with it, but it's actually the build is actually quite a bit harder than I was expecting it to be. So it's taking me a little bit longer, but I'm almost finished with it, and when I'm finished with it, I will show you guys the finished product. It's going to look pretty cool. This is my first attempt at building it, so it's going to look definitely like my first attempt, but it's a really neat kind of fire lay. But anyways, guys, that's not the point. I did have a few of you guys ask to see the review, or for me to do a review rather, on the Pearson 709 Hunter. So that's what I'm doing today. I've decided to cut the whole shooting the bow. If you guys would like to see that, just comment below and tell me that you guys would like to see this thing actually being shot. It's going to be my shooting impressions and my overall thoughts on the bow. And first off, I really do like this bow. Out of all my traditional bows that I have, this one's definitely my favorite to shoot. And it's definitely the most pretty of them all. The riser is this beautiful Zebrawood, as well as these tips. They do have tip overlays on both sides, and they are Zebrawood as well. So it's a quite pretty bow. So that is the first plus I really do like about it. It's an extremely pretty bow, but for the shooting and why it's my favorite to shoot is not just the prettiness, but as you guys can see, that it has this kind of weird look to it. So that flare out is like on a pistol grip, or like a competition pistol. It helps you get a better handle on the bow and really helps to lock the bow actually in your hand. So it does look a little weird, especially from this angle, but when you actually hold it, it's extremely comfortable. And like I said, it really does a great job at just locking the hand into the bow, and so that there's very little movement when you pull back the bow. You really feel locked in, and your hand that's holding the bow really doesn't feel like it wants to move around or kind of twist at all. Like with some of the bears, they're really great because they're made so compact, but like my Bear Polar, it kind of has that feeling where it could roll easier, or at least it definitely doesn't lock into the hand as positively as this bow. As well, another thing is, as you guys probably already noticed, is it has a swell here for the palm. So once again, that really adds to the ergonomics and helping this bow to get locked in. Sorry, those are probably my two favorite things about shooting it, or why I like it in shooting so much, is because it really locks extremely well into the hand, and I really do like that. So another part is it is also a very recurved bow. Sorry I don't have my Dart and Superflight Ranger to compare. You'll kind of have to take my word. But if you guys can kind of see how recurved these limbs are, they have an extreme amount of curve to them, and that also helps with the ease of draw. And what I mean by this is it's an extremely glassy, smooth draw. I mean, that's another reason why I like it over my other two, is because the draw is so nice that it almost doesn't feel like you're pulling 45 pounds. I also do want to mention this is 45 pounds at 28 inches, but it's kind of weird. It seems like a light shooting bow, but it still is shooting 45 pounds. It just doesn't feel quite like 45 pounds when you draw it back. So that is something that I really do like about this bow. For the all the features, like I said, it is really nice. It certainly is more of a luxurious bow. I forgot to mention that it is a 58-inch overall length, and like I said, 45 pounds at draw. It does have string grooves, as you can see, and like I said, tip overlays, which the string grooves and the tip overlays are primarily just for the looks. They really don't add a whole lot to accuracy or the smooth draw or anything like that, but they are nice touches and definitely appreciated. and they help really add to the elegancy of this bow. Being that this is a recurve, there's basically no hand shock. It's just overall a really nice bow to shoot, and I definitely recommend it for anyone in archery. It really is good for beginners, intermediate, all the way up to advanced probably. I really do like it as far as a traditional bow goes. I will say my one complaint is probably, and this is something that I've noticed, and I don't know if it's because of my shooting style, but one thing that does truly annoy me with this bow is how small the shelf is cut. I don't know if you guys can see how small the shelf is. I do know that this flares out here, but I've noticed a lot when I'm shooting my bow, and when I go to straighten out the bow, and when I get right back to full pull and straighten out, it doesn't happen every time, and I do notice it now more and try and prevent it, but I do notice that the arrows like to fall off the shelf a lot more. Like with my other two bows, the arrows never have ever fallen out of the shelf. With this one, if I'm not watching it carefully, the arrows will fall off the shelf. So I've noticed that this one definitely has a very small shelf. It's really wide, as you can see, but it is actually a rather thin shelf, and so I've definitely noticed that's probably my only complaint about the bow, is I really do wish it had a larger or deeper shelf so that the arrows would actually stay on the shelf a little bit easier. That's pretty much my review on the Ben Pearson 709 Hunter. It is a really great bow. I would definitely recommend them for their price point of around $100 to $70. They're really great. I don't think you could beat them for that price point. Just kind of watch out, because there are some on eBay that are pretty beat up. This one is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of cracking in the fiberglass and scuffs and stuff, which is pretty normal for a bow of this age. The 709 Hunters were made anywhere from the 50s to the 60s, so all these bows, the 709 Hunters in particular, are pretty old. So to see some wear is pretty expectable, but there are some that were definitely more beat up than others. Overall, it's definitely recommendable, and like I said, it's probably my favorite bow out of my three. I don't have a lot, but definitely my favorite out of them. Anyways, guys, I'm out.